Ana Navarro, over on The View. You know her, right? The woman who used to pretend she was a conservative and now has gone the other way. She's just a full-on never-Trumper. Here she is.
Former head of ICE, Tom Homan, has just been picked as border czar for the upcoming administration, and he recently went on 60 Minutes to justify the price that migrants and Americans will pay for his plan. Take a look.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
I don't care what anybody's opinion is on illegal immigration. When you create a crisis this big, all these other bad things happen. That's why we have to secure the border. I don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat, or independent. Border security is national security.
So perhaps that means that they will go back to the plan that was that both the Republicans and the Democrats were going to do at the border and was stopped by you-know-who. So maybe that's in his mind, that there is something to do there.
You realize, it's chilling what he just said. You realize that when he says, yes, families can be deported together, what he is saying is that U.S. citizens can be deported. What he is saying is, if the parent is undocumented and they have U.S. citizen children or U.S. citizen spouse, or and you don't want to separate them, then let's deport the U.S. citizens. Look, Donald Trump won the electoral vote. He won. He's going to win the House. He won the Senate. For all effects and purposes, he's got the Supreme Court. They've given him immunity. This is what the country voted for. This is, a lot of people thought that when he talked about mass deportations, he wasn't being serious. I don't know how many times he had to say it for people to realize he was being serious. Well, if you thought he wasn't being serious, the appointment of Tom Homan today as border czar, and he will be in charge of a mass deportation program, the largest the country has ever seen, they say. And now Stephen Miller, as deputy chief of staff, should let you know that he was absolutely serious. And when you talk about mass deportations, people think, oh, it's just going to be the criminals. There's not enough criminals, aliens in the federal prison system for it to be mass deportations. What it means is grandmothers. What it means is brothers and aunts. What it means is abuelos y abuelas. It means dreamers. It means your family members. It means your colleagues. It means your friends. It means people who are part of the society. And look, America, those of you who voted for Trump, this is what you wanted. This is what you voted for. You screwed around and you're about to find out.
Again, Ana, just to remind you, honey, Americans voted for him. And you know what they said were the two top issues? None other than the border and the economy. Inflation has been rough. The border has been rough on so many communities. And you know what? Somebody had to do something, because it was very clear the direction we were going and nobody was willing to do anything. We were losing our country. That was the fear. That's what was happening. And so I think Americans actually have a very high bar in terms of tolerance for whatever it is that they're about to see. Apparently you don't, though. Ana, you're more worried about the cost of flowers over Valentine's Day. Ana tweeting out that she's so upset here because, they've got this standoff going on with the Colombian president, Donald Trump, versus the Colombian president. This was great over the weekend because literally, within the span of 3 hours, the Colombian president folded after Donald Trump threatened 25% tariffs on all goods coming in from Colombia if they wouldn't take back their illegal criminals that were here in the U.S. Well, Ana's flipping out saying, you know what? Most of the flowers imported into the U.S. come from Colombia. Happy Valentine's Day, America. You're not going to get any flowers. Ana, flowers are expensive. I don't know, is everybody in America is so worried about their flowers. I'll never forget when Teresa Heinz Kerry, the one married to John Kerry, the one that has to fly on the private jet all over the world as the climates are to accept all his climate awards because, he's the climate czar and his time is very, very, very important. Well, his wife, who comes from the Heinz ketchup family, so, we're talking mega money here. When he was running for president, this was just unbelievable to me. I'll never forget this quote. She was doing an interview on NPR, and they asked her if she had any ability to kind of understand what it was like for everyday folks that were struggling economically. And she's like, oh, yes, when I was in school in Switzerland, and I loved fresh flowers. And it really, really was hard because I had only so much money every week. And it meant if I wanted my fresh flowers, then I had to economize, which meant I had to eat pasta one night a week. I mean, those are the Kerrys for you, okay? And Anna's like following right in line with Teresa Heinz Kerry saying, oh my gosh, we're going to have trouble with the flower prices because Donald Trump is saying, you don't take back those migrants, Colombia. You don't take back your criminals, Colombia. And why does Colombia want them back? Of course they don't want them back. They don't want the criminals. Are you kidding? Well, Donald Trump said, sure, no problem. I'm going to slap a 25% tariff right on your hide. And literally, it was so funny because I actually texted a friend this. I'm like, well, and he wrote back, he's like, yeah, like give it a few hours. They're going to completely reverse it. Sure enough, 3 hours later, maybe less than 3 hours later, not only had the Colombian president say, oopsie, no, just kidding. He's sending his own plane now. He's sending his own plane to pick up the criminals. So it's coming at his cost. I would just say, look, refreshing, right? How long do you think it would have taken the likes of the Biden administration to negotiate anything similar? Marco Rubio, by the way, is still shutting down the visa office there. So nobody's going to Colombia. Forget about Cartagena for your spring vacation. Like, not happening. Not that most people want to go to Cartagena anyway. Like, it's Colombia. Anyway, I'm just saying, Ana Navarro really showing her stripes. She's more worried about flower prices than she is the safety of United States citizens. Think about that.